Talkin Bout Radio. I don't know if we're live, but we live.
Live.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Hey! That's life. It's life, man. What's up, Bear Muse? What's the deal?
It's good. I feel like it's different in the daytime. It's a whole different energy. Like when I'm here at nighttime, so this is different. Much different.
We didn't ask you that. I said,
I'm telling you. I feel good, but
That's how she's doing it.
and I'm saying that this is different. So I feel like I have to come different. So I'm not gonna talk about you today.
I won't talk about you either.
I mean, you don't have to talk
Oh, I do. I do. I shoot from the hip.
So,
What's up, man?
we got Lupe in the building.
Lupe.
Hi guys.
Hello.
Go ahead and, oh, you got a new name now. It's not Lupe Love anymore.
No, it's not. No.
Yes, give it to us.
It's my legal name,
Okay.
Lupe LLerenas. Its last name is a little difficult to pronounce.
Ananas? Did I say it right?
I'm
No.
sticking with
Ah,
Lupe.
damn.
I'm just sticking with Lupe.
Was this because of business? You decided to just keep it?
Business wise and just branding more wise. I started with Lupe Love in 2012, and that was when I was still in college. And I guess you can say like I gave a face to that name, and that's what I started with, and that's what I ran with. And for 3 years, I did interviews, events, red carpet with Lupe Love, and half of my articles were under Lupe Love. So this year, I was sitting on the idea for a cool minute, and I was just like, all right, like if you think about it, every female in the game, like Angela Yee, Angie Martinez,
Roxy Diaz.
So they all have their first, if it's not some sort of their name around their name, it's their name. And they all have a big ass brand behind it. It's not like for a guy, you can have DJ something or, that nickname, and it's gonna look amazing, and it's really gonna look good. For females, it's a little harder. So it was time for me to go back to my real roots. So yeah.
Okay, speaking of your roots, where are you from?
I'm from the San Fernando Valley, so 30 minutes from here. So yeah, born and raised in the San Fernando Valley, the 818. I went to school there. I went to Cal State Northridge, graduated there. It's gonna be 3 years ago. And yeah, I've never left from the West Coast, LA. So yeah.
It's the best coast. I'll never leave. Well, nah, tourists stop coming. We don't want no more people in California.
Populated.
You feel me?
I'm fine with the people as long as they don't take my job. You can't tell people not to come. This is a city of opportunity.
They tell us not to come to places. Why can't we tell them the same? Don't come to the East Coast. Don't come to the South.
Whitey said don't come to LA, so.
Yeah.
And I'm behind that.
I'm not. I'm for all the people coming.
Hey, I'm cool, but just come. But just don't. They're gonna come, and it's gonna make it harder for us to get a job in whatever we want within the field of entertainment, music. Only because it's the #1 capital.
But I feel like it's been saturated for decades. So it's like, I think when it comes down to like, if it's for you, it's for you, no matter who else is going to be in your circle or in the city. I think that's just what it is. I don't think anybody else can deter you from that. So it's like, you have your opportunity. If it's for you, it's for you, and God will make it happen. But
True.
like, I don't think it's fair for us to say like we don't want you here.
Well, we can't be fucking. We can't. Can we curse?
Yes, you can.
I mean, yeah, we can't be evil either. But
Well, he's
it's
evil,
super.
so he
What?
doesn't
It's
know.
super populated. Like it's hella populated, and the brand is gonna continue to go up. We're gonna
True.
easily become, much more expensive in like 2 years or so. Downtown LA, pretty much Los Angeles is gonna be as
Inglewood.
expensive. Yes, Inglewood is now seen as
I would.
whatever.
I would.
Yeah, pretty much. Like I was on the news recently that literally Inglewood is more populated with houses and people coming in here and living because of the stadium, of the Forum, and I'm like, what? Like,
They said
Really?
Compton is
fans.
one of the most hottest spots to live now too.
I'm like,
What? Most hottest?
oh, okay.
Yeah, most hottest. People are going there.
Most hottest.
They said they're going.
So
Gentrification at its
easily,
finest.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
They living by the Target though. They're
Yeah.
not going over there like past down Greenleaf, past Line and shit like that. They're not going that far. They're just staying right by that Target, Newtown Center.
But the crazy thing is, how long does it take for them to move?
When they start
When they start
rebuilding some
winning.
more stuff.
Yeah.
Well, opportunities. You worked with Homegrown for what? About how many years now?
It's gonna be 2 years in April. I started in 2016.
Mhm.
In April of 2016, I started as an intern with Homegrown.
Intern game.
Yeah.
You feel me?
I started as an intern. And then I became. I started writing like an editorial editor, so I started writing creative writings for the site.
Mm-hmm.
And then a few months into that, the whole crew, Dallas, Chuck, Head, Sparkle, they saw my drive and my grind and hard work, and they were like, yeah, can we get you up a little higher? So I became their producer, and damn, I think I want to say the summer of 2017.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I produced their Thursday night show, and I help them with their other show on Real. So,
Okay.
yep.
What made you start this?
What made me start into this?
I'm talking about, I mean, this has to be something that you've thought about extensively over your time. I'm talking about your experience in now. Well, my mic's going up, but I think that you put thought behind this. So
Oh, yeah,
what
definitely.
really drove you to make the push to do what you did?
I think it was maybe I was in high school, and I wanted to. I've always been like very super spirited, and like always really clumsy on that side as well, but very energetic. And I went into college, and I joined like a shitload of organizations, clubs, and I was just really vibing with the college life. And after that, I saw that I could make a career of being in the entertainment and music field. And at that time, I was really strictly driven into radio. So when I was like in junior year, I started looking into radios and looking into the entertainment industry. And for like maybe 2 or 3 years, from like 2011 until 2013, 2014, just like zero luck in radio. Like people knew who I was because I'm that type. I was that listener who would always call the radio station, who would always win tickets, and I would legit call and be on the damn line to try to win tickets. And they had events around my city, I would be there. So I was that one listener.
Full-fledged fan.
You have that one listener on the radio. So I was that one person, and people just, they saw my face, and that's when I started to get close to Big Boy and to J. Cruz and the morning show over at Power at that time. So everyone at the station pretty much knew who I was, and they knew that I wanted to work in radio. But I just never got the opportunity to be that. But thanks to that, I was able to branch out into different things. Okay, maybe radio's not my thing right now, but entertainment is my calling. And then I started to intern for Karen Civil, KarenCivil.com, in 2015. And after that, I became her West Coast editor. And I've been her West Coast editor since then. And I do like red carpet events for her and interviews.
Big baller! Big Lupe
And from there it
baller!
just went escalating with R&B-based, homegrown, and now remote.
What's it like actually working with Karen?
At first, I was, because I knew how to write, but it was the formal essay, do your essays at like the day before, because they were due at 8 in the morning type of thing.
Yeah.
But so I had to learn that aesthetic of the writing for it not to be so boring, because there's a way of writing newsworthy, and that's the way that schools teach you, and then there's other ways to grab the reader's attention. So I had to learn that, but it's been really amazing working with her. I would say, and I still say till this day, that it's because of her that I got my little stepping stone in the field that I am today. Because honestly, like, I kept getting, like, from one station itself, like, I got rejected 7 times. To be an intern, to be a board op, to be a street team, to be a receptionist, like, with that station itself. So when Karen gave me after like 3 interviews and a phone call, and she gave me the, hey, yes, like, I want you to be an intern for me, I was just like, oh shit, like, I finally got my first yes, I'm gonna go fucking hard. And I've seen how she moves. I've seen, that's another big part of why I changed my name. I've seen her work with, organizations and music and branding with Nipsey, with YG, with Wayne. So it's been really good, and I've learned a lot from it.
Yeah. What's the best piece of advice that she's given you so far with your career?
To always be myself and be very firm and with what I want. So if I want something, show that I want it, and not, play the ditzy girl or the ditzy personality for me to get it. Like, to always show my real me.
Do you feel like there's any favoritism in the industry for you being a woman opposed to how they treat the men in this?
It's definitely easier for men. That's for sure. But for women, you have to, obviously a big marketing tool for women is the looks. But there's also has to be a personality behind that. So I want to say it's 75% easier for a guy. And for the girl, it's just obviously twice as hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I agree.
So, I'll be running around with Head.
Yeah.
He talks about you like nonstop. Like, he gives you like the most praise. He be like, that motherfucker Lupe, she's gonna get it, man. She gets this shit. She be out here in these streets with or without me. And so how does that make you feel? Like, do you get big headed? How do you stay humble with all of that? Because I know that he's not the only one that bigs you up like that.
No, it was funny because when I came in as an intern here for Homegrown to help the guys, apparently Head told Chuck, he's like, yo, like, Lupe is that fucking dude. But he calls me a dude because he's like, you have that thick attitude. He's like, Lupe is that fucking person. He's like, she's gonna fucking help us a lot. And I guess when that got to me, and I was like, oh shit, like, that's when I realized that he and the rest of the guys, Sally, Sparkle, and Chuck, wanted me to fucking win. And after that, seeing how, if I wasn't with them, I was over doing stuff with Karen. If I wasn't doing stuff with Karen, at that time I was also social media manager for another site, and I was doing interviews for them. So if it wasn't like I was, and till this day, I'm always doing something. And so it motivates me even more, only because if it comes from him, someone that literally hops on the fucking phone with me and he's like, yo, how was your day? Like, let me know what happened. And we'll be like, yo, like, where you at? I'm like, oh, I'm working, or like I'm writing an article or something. He's like, oh, let's go grab lunch. So he's always checking up and see how I'm doing in any way possible that he can help me out. He's right there. So it's motivating. I see myself in him as a female person, as a girl. Like, he's a fucking hustler. So I see myself in him, and I feel like that's a really good example. And he's told me as well. He's like, yo, I see like, you remind me so much of me. So I appreciate that. And, maybe in 5 years from now, I can be like Head, helping someone else. That does that vice versa, and that full circle of, yo, they helped me get to where I am now. Like, I'm going to do the same exact thing.
Yeah, hold that door open, you feel me? I feel that.
What's up? Okay, I'm glad you said all of that, because moving forward, you have Brown Girl Rising. So with you staying moving and you staying a constant staple in the industry, I should say, with people seeing you, what do you think that's doing for the ones that are coming after you? Like, how is that helping push the movement Brown Girls Rising?
Brown Girl Rising, essentially, I wanted to have something that girls could relate to, especially brown and black girls, with the same skin color. And I want them, and essentially, I just want to have something that if I'm coming up, they can come too. Like, there's no, I'm gonna go higher first than you. Like, no, I'm bringing your ass with me. Like, we're coming up together.
That's real.
And that's a part of it. Like, we're brown girls and we're fucking rising to the top together. So, essentially, I do want to make it, in this year, 2018, I do just want to brand it and want to have several things behind that so it can
pick up more steam.
Pick up more, yeah.
Definitely.
And eventually I do want to branch out to colleges and go talk to girls that want to be in the industry, that want to be in the music field, in radio, and just bring them along and be a part of the Brown Girl Rising movement and have them come and network with other people that I have connections with.
I think that's very dope. You know, you don't really see a lot of that. I mean, now you see a whole lot more. You know, women, you know, are banding together. So it's a great thing to watch.
Yeah.
Women really come together as a whole and you know, put bickering aside and really move forward towards a great cause. So, I mean, I commend you on it. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it for as a man to the women. Hey, I appreciate you so much.
Yeah.
I like what this is about as well. But my question would be, so right now we have multiple social groups that don't like organizations that are targeted towards women of color.
Mm-hmm.
What do you say to them when, or if it ever comes across with someone that has a problem with the name being for brown girls? Do you ever?
You know, I thought about that.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's. Yeah.
I understand and I totally agree. I think that there should be, but what do you say to those people that do have an issue with it?
In the long run, I want it to be for women.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, the door is open for anyone. Like there's not a stigma towards that.
Mm-hmm.
But if people do have a problem with it, go ahead and have your problem with it. Like, it's gonna be there regardless.
Yes.
You can come and join. The door is absolutely open for you. He's like, but if you are gonna, you know, come up and have a problem with it, talk something about it, then let it be. I mean, I'm not gonna fight it.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, I'm gonna fight for my Brown Girl Rising and push anyone who's within that circle.
For a universal meaning.
Yeah. So no, and I've thought about that.
Yeah.
But you know, there's so much that I want to do with that. There's a series that I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, definitely.
I always think it's better when you not say target your own people, but when you do come up with your people first, because then it kind of, you're able to cultivate them rather than going outside and raising those people up.
Exactly.
Not to exclude them, but it's like I'd always want to take care of my people first before I go outside anywhere. So
Exactly. No.
I like it.
Nope. Yeah. That's exactly.
Why are you looking like that?
I'm just here. I'm just here, you know, trying to keep my confidence.
He's absorbing everything.
You feel me? All this womanly power is crazy right now. It's not every episode you get this.
True. Very true. So what do you have coming up next? What are you working on?
I'm definitely branding my Lupe LLerenas, my Brown Girl Rising. I have my website dropping next month on my birthday, LupeLlerenas.com, and it's basically, my work is just going to be there, my work that I've done for like 3 years straight. A segment for Brown Girl Rising is also going to be there, but Brown Girl Rising is going to be a YouTube series where I'm going to be dropping a video every month where it's going to be like Brown Girl Rising note to self. So a note to you about anything that can lift you up. So there's going to be certain topics about rejection, pushing forward, career path, opportunity. So anything that can, if you think about something and it rises you up, that's most likely going to be a topic. And that's going to be on YouTube, and it's also going to drop, like the first video is going to drop on the same day as my birthday. And I haven't said this, but yeah, so.
Hey, we got an exclusive. We got an exclusive.
So yeah, on those 2 days, those two things are going to drop though on that day, and just continue branding myself.
What inspired the series?
Just that I I often watch like YouTube videos and like videos on Insta.
Oh, no.
You can put the mic down.
Oh, yeah.
Your arm is really getting tired?
No. See, what happened is I'm just, continue.
When inspired, just like going on social media and stuff. Social media is so powerful now, and it's often powerful in good and bad. But I see it in a really good way, so that inspired it, and I just want people to, when you're scrolling up or down or on Twitter and see a video, and just waking up every morning and having that ritual of, let me see what so and so posted, and it's a video to start your day in a positive note.
Like Gary V.
Yeah.
Is he
dope.
Oh my gosh. So we're here for this.
Yeah.
Shout out Gary V.
Yes.
No
he doesn't know
clout.
who the fuck we are, but
No clout. You feel me? That man right there.
Dope ass.
When Chuck told me about that.
Inspirational.
Oh gosh. And he's so passionate, because I be passionate too. But they be thinking I'm wilding, but I be mad. I be so passionate about something. He be going hard. He just reminds me of that, man, keep going. Never quit.
Yeah.
Don't settle.
Don't settle.
Out of all the people that you've interviewed to date, who's been like your favorite?
My
Or
favorite.
let's say the most memorable, where you took something out of it and you're like, I'm gonna apply that to myself.
Good question.
Yeah.
I got one after that too.
Okay, say you didn't apply it to yourself.
But someone that I was just like, damn, like I really fucking just spoke to so and so. Ice Cube and Dr. Dre for Straight Outta Compton, the movie. Even though it was a phone interview,
Did it sound like they were friends?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
like they were. It was on one line. The other one was a 3-way call, and so I was just like, damn, like. I really just got off the phone with fucking Cube and Dre. Like, what the fuck? But yeah, definitely them. But I think someone who really gave me something and, like, really stuck with me is... I have 2 people, and they're both female.
Nothing wrong with that.
Angie Martinez, when I spoke to her, and Eva Longoria.
She's so fun.
Man,
She's cute. She's really cute, even though she's pregnant.
That's what we
But
do.
Angie Martinez, I love. I try to watch as many of her interviews as I can.
Yeah. So,
she's like infectious, like
Super.
her happy.
Yeah, she's kind of cute.
No, Angie,
She's
look,
for
look.
an older woman?
We're not talking about her looks. We're talking about
Angie can
I'm
get
talking about
it.
she is in her interview.
Wait, whoa, Angie can get it. I don't care. Speak that Spanish.
Angie's
girl.
married.
So, she's not
I don't know, she
married.
doesn't really, but like.
Hey.
I know she has a son.
Yeah, she has. She has
Just because you have kids doesn't mean you're married. You feel me? Hey, yo, I'm with her. She said it. I said, you feel me?
Okay, so Lupe,
Yeah.
who have you interviewed and been like the complete opposite? Been like, dog, this dude's a dick. Like,
That's a good question.
No, because he's a dick in real life. And that's Kevin Gates.
okay, so what?
Oh, no, not my
That's
guy.
definitely believable. And
That's
I
my guy.
Because he's
Let's hear what happened though.
No, it was just an interview. It was press day for one of his albums. His like most recent one before he went to jail. And it was I don't blame the guy. It was press day. I'm pretty sure he was up from like 5, I don't know, whatever time. In our interview, it was a bunch of other outlets too there. So it was like maybe around 8-9 outlets, and it was late at night. It was like around 7 already. So if you're doing a press, you're fucking burned out. Like I don't blame you, you know. But it's for you. Like don't, you know. But that was actually shortly after that one interview. I don't know where it was, but he was a completely
Different guy.
dickhead to this one other journalist, and the journalist was super cool about it. It was at some concert. But anyways, he came, did one by one, and we were only allowed to ask 3 questions each outlet, and I was second to last. And
It's a bad time you got.
yes, yeah. So his answers were very like straightforward, like yes, no, like well, it's whatever you want to think. Like really, bro.
Where's the
you're gonna give me, and I'm like, at that point, I'm like, okay, I understand, long ass day for him. And then after that, he bounced. He didn't even get to the last person. So,
It's usually what happens like during a whooping. Like the person gets the whooping first, gets the next, that arm tired. So, yeah, Kevin Gates, man, you gotta do better, man.
no, but I mean,
free
I
Gates,
like
though,
his
shout out to
music.
him.
I like. Yeah,
Oh,
He
I
has a
out.
better attitude.
He's
now,
out, and hopefully he has a transformation just like Gucci, and he can do something. But hey, I'm here. I'm excited.
Hey,
Hey, I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
Nothing. Nothing.
So, back to Lupe. So, what advice do you have to like other girls? Like I've seen you talk, like give advice on the timeline, like keep your clothes on instead.
Yes,
You know
yes,
what I mean?
yes. Yes, tell them, girl.
No,
Tell them.
I mean,
What are you looking at me for? I think
if
my
it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. You know, sadly, if there, you gotta have some sort of talent. So. It's gonna
Oh, wait,
happen.
so you're speaking of clothes on in the form of like having sexual activities with the person to get a job?
No,
or
no,
you're speaking in general?
no, in general.
Oh.
Like I don't.
You can
I
have
don't
sex
think-
appeal with the cool clothes on. I think.
I just wanted to get. He didn't.
No,
he didn't
specify the question, and I didn't see it on his social media, so I just wanted to.
I just know. I think that like in social media, if that's your tailor of having less clothes, then that's your thing. Go ahead and do your thing. But I think we all have different opinions, and my opinion obviously is have talent first, and then everything else. Like have your talent speak for your work.
Mhm.
You know, so.
You don't have
There's-
to be naked.
But I
Supposed to be
mean,
naked
I know
against
guys love that, and I know girls love that too. So, whatever toot your horn. Like, what is that one saying? I don't even know.
I think it is.
Whatever-
teach your
whatever.
own. Whatever floats your boat.
There you go. Well, that was all.
Whatever deals your
Yeah,
pickle.
it is. That
Whatever
too,
deals your
that
pickle.
too.
Or that I don't mean to blow my own horn.
No, it's toot. Oh,
No, whatever whatever goes with your
I'm for sure
way.
not tooting nothing.
But I'm not here to obviously talk negative. That's just my opinion. So.
I feel like that's a good media answer. She's answered
Very.
that well. You've been trained. KarenCivilTV, shout out to you. You trained her well. Trained her well. Shout out to Check Ahead too. That's how I first met you. I met you on a Thursday night.
Yeah.
And you were just here. I honestly wasn't, I be sitting in the corner and don't say nothing. They swear I'm just the most talkative person, but I seen you were just working. Like, you came in, you said hi. You just came in getting stuff in order, and I was like, who is that? Rob was like, oh, that's Lupe. I said, oh, are we ready? We hot?
No, yeah.
We hot? We hot?
We laugh.
We're rolling now. Okay, Slutwalk. How was that? Is it as empowering as people say it is, or was it just a hoax, the facade, just for women to show their titties outside?
I mean, I'm sure it's for women, so anything that's for women, I'm always gonna be, I'm always gonna stand for it.
Even if it's bad?
Well, how can
I mean, there's okay, ooh, that's
elaborate into
You
that,
did
please.
really good.
loud. It's just a quick, because I mean,
Just know I'm taking Lupe's side. So.
look,
Me
look,
too.
look. I'm on Lupe's side
Homegrown
too.
intern,
That's
stick
why.
together.
That's why it's a good question. What I'm saying is, yes, there's a lot of movements that are for women, and that portray a good act. But there's some that are just facades. Just that's what I'm
That
saying.
goes back to the previous answer where I said about keeping your clothes off. Like, if you want to go ahead and take it off, and it's freedom of speech, it's one of the amendments. Go ahead and do your thing. Like, I can't stop you. I'm not always gonna agree with it.
Okay.
But it's your thing. Like, it's your body. It's you. It's whatever. Like, you want to do with yourself. Like, I'm not gonna be there to fucking stop you.
That's real.
So, go ahead if you want to do it. So, shout out to Amber Rose who does the Slutwalk. She wants to do it. Go ahead. She has a valid reasons behind all of that.
Can you elaborate on what actually is the core reason for the slow walks? I feel like some people.
Body shaming. She talks a lot about body shaming. A lot of the parts where, in most situations, she's getting called a slut. She's getting called a hoe. A prostitute. So, having people, call you names and just shame you for being who you are.
As far as in your sensuality.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I take a prime fact about that.
Okay.
And then obviously gays, lesbians, LGBT community comes together in a big part of that. And then just women and some men go out there and support their ladies. So
when you go, are you going to cover, or
I go to
because you
cover.
stand with the cause?
I go to cover and I try to learn much more of it.
Okay.
Talking to people there this past time that I went, it was I took from it because I spoke to a lot of people, and some of the people, you know, were talking about how they were suicidal because they were constantly called names and put down for who they were. So just learning every different aspect of the situation, of the cause. I'm not 100% for it, but I'm there to learn, because eventually I'm a student of whatever I apply myself to, and I don't want to be ignorant at the end of the day, you know. I want to be a part of it. I want to know what's behind it.
I want to be knowledgeable.
Yeah. I just don't want to talk because I have a mouth.
True story.
So
I feel like with her name, and I think it's great that she uses this platform, but I feel like because of her background, it gets misconstrued what the actual purpose of the Slutwalk is.
Yeah.
And then I think it's become so popular because accepting of your body and the showing of it, which it's just a natural thing, they're not really fully understanding its purpose. And I think she elaborates, but it's like a blinder because it's her.
yeah,
But
like you can only see so much, and you can only hear what your ears want to hear. You know, like everything else you block out. So now I get where you're saying.
Yeah. So I think that's one of the, I'm not even going to call it a downfall, I think it's one of the issues behind it, because there's like the conservative part of the spectrum that don't even really give it a chance. And I would say that's me initially, because I didn't really look into it. I just was like, Slutwalk, don't really like the phrase, don't really think I'm with that. So I kind of just didn't really look into it as much as I should have. And then when the second one came around, I actually got more information. But it was, even for me, it was hard to go back on what I had previously said about it, because it was like, well, last year I ain't know shit. So you just gotta like learn and educate yourself.
Great answers. You know, I'm because I have to let this. When it comes to these things, I like to continue to ask women these questions, because women clearly they give their answer how they best fit. And everyone is different. So, I just take it as a learning experience. Because I was never for it. I'm going to be 100. I'm one of those guys, it's Amber Rose. I've seen this. And this is not just because she's dating, just like the certain things she does. She moves immoral. Like some of her morals don't line up with my morals. So I wouldn't support that. And that's just...
Yeah, and that's absolutely acceptable, and understandable. It's your opinion. It's what you believe, and it's on you. I'm gonna accept that.
But that's the beauty of it, because I can say that and still get information on it.
Yeah.
Now, even I may not agree with her morals, but I do agree with. Body shaming is out of line. I think that men shouldn't do it, women shouldn't do it. Period. It goes both ways. So, I'm just here to learn, man. Even though I don't like certain things, I have to continue to still be open to learning why they feel a certain way. So, I'm all for it. Everybody grows. Everybody learns.
Exactly.
So this question is for everybody here. What exactly do you consider body shaming is? Because it may be different for you than it is for her. Or he may feel like he said something and don't think it's a body shame. So I think that's one of the things that are out there that a lot of people don't know. Like, people say things and they be like, "Oh, you're body shaming."
I was just talking,
I was just talking.
Something.
I thought she had a nice ass. So what do you guys feel like it is? Well, mainly you two, since you guys are
because you guys are women. What do we? I don't care. You can body shame me. You're too skinny. Oh, you have a long left leg. Who cares? What? I don't. I'm just out there just throwing shit out there, guys. Come on, guys.
You can go first.
I would say that it's either just calling someone a bitch and meaning that she's a bitch or a slut or a hoe. Like, but then again, at the end of the day, like, if homegirl wants to be that, do that, hey, by all means, go ahead, like, do your thing, you know? But I like, don't go and call people names that are some sort of gonna go directly towards that person's personality, whatever they are.
I consider body shaming to be in the instance, I would say maybe mine's a little bit different since I'm in the fashion industry. I think you take it like you have a model like Ashley Graham, which is considered plus size, but in reality she's a regular built woman. And then you put her up next to like Gigi Hadid, and then you start comparing. I think that's what for me would be body shaming. I think they're both equally beautiful. Or even let's say Jordan Dunn. Let's say you have like Jordan Dunn, and then you have Jordan, whichever the one is Kylie's best friend. I think that's when you get into like the area of body shaming, because then you start depicting one from the other and trying to decide which body part is better, and then in the end you end up making one feel inferior to the other, when in reality there's nothing that either one of them could do unless they decide to go and change it cosmetically. But as a person, that's not on us to decide or make you feel any type of way about what you have.
That's a really good.
I think that's how I think of it. I don't really.
Point.
But in that instance, I'm gonna use Snapchat as an example. Snapchat uses that filter, you know, with the one with the hearts. That Snapchat is depicted of the person they think has the best symmetrical looks of their face. That's how that filter was made. That filter was made by what they thought. Well, I mean, a consensus came together and they said, well, these women, the best woman with the best symmetrical feature looks like this, so this is going to be the filter. And everybody uses that filter. So isn't that, I mean, doesn't that...
I don't think that's body shaming. I think that's just like light fun. I think it's all in like how she said, how you say it. So especially I think with the age of technology.
And then how you phrase it.
Yeah,
as well.
you can go through like people's comments. I like to just to be aware, because like I said, I'm trying to be more conscious of how I speak to people. So if I have the time, I do like to go through like shade room comments and just read certain things, and you'll see how they'll talk about a person's body, but you can kind of tell like the hatred of how they're speaking of it, because you can have constructive criticism about somebody, like, oh well, or even say Fashion Bomb Daily. Do you follow? Like you can say like, oh well, she was wearing that awesome Gucci coat, but on Monica it flowed better because she's thinner. But it's like you can't really make those comparisons, because that's not on you to say. You can either say yes, I like the fucking jacket, or no, I don't. But when you go into depicting someone's body frame of how it should have looked better on someone else, I think that's when you go into the body shaming category.
And then it gets deeper.
Very deep, because then that starts to show your insecurities as a person, because that's not what the question was. The question was, do you like the coat or not? And people don't really, know the value.
Okay.
That's when it becomes body shaming, because that's never the question.
That's real.
It's a solid answer. Do you like it or not? And when you go into someone's looks, it's like that's more of a point of where they need to start doing some self-reflecting of like, what made me want to attack that person for that? Is it because I have self-issues within myself that I'm not working on, or do I really just have these really mean comments that probably mean nothing, but either way they shouldn't be shared out loud.
Okay, so with that music, you know, we're closer now, but I'd like to keep it serious for one more question for both of you guys. Have you been body shamed, and how did you overcome that or get through that situation, if it happened? Especially women that, I mean, you're in the industry, and she does intimate lingerie and intimate swimsuits. So, I mean, this stuff, God forbid it happened, but if it happened, I would love, I
can't recall being body shamed, thankfully, but I see it, and I'm pretty sure people may have talked about it or not, but it hasn't come to my attention.
So what would your advice be to someone who's dealing with that? I know that it's kind of hard to give real advice if you haven't really been through a situation, but I mean, you could always give.
Just ignore it and move forward, because you know what you are and what you're doing. Like, don't let it affect you. Continue whatever you're doing, and just, if anything, they're talking because they have a fucking mouth. Like, that's it. Like, they got nothing else better to do. You continue whatever the hell you're doing, continue picking up here and there, and that's it. Like, do you win? Everything else, paying them no attention, so.
So off of that, talk about the Hot Ass Mess podcast. How's that coming along?
That is cool. I mean, the whole podcast situation, it's been around for a cool minute. And
isn't it crazy how it's picking up
yeah,
right now? How it's
super, yeah. Like, so it just came out. Like, I always wanted to have something because I like to talk. So, and I feel like, you know, I'm always have something. There's always something going down, and you know, it's cool to voice your opinion. Like, I'm all for that. So I went to dinner, I think it was one time, and this one girl and myself, Jazz, who is my partner on this, we were talking and we fucking spoke for easily 2 hours. Our food fucking got cold. And I was just like, damn, like, I really enjoyed this fucking conversation. I think we were talking about Nicki and Remy, and then Jay-Z and Nas. So we were just talking, you know, going based off that. And then I think, like, the next morning, I hit her up and I was like, yo, Jazz, like, I really enjoyed our conversation. Like, give or take, my food got cold, but I brought that shit home and I warmed it up and I ate it. So, after that, I was like, yo, like, I've been wanting to have a podcast. She's like, me too. And I'm like, oh, shit, like, I finally found someone who wants to do a podcast. Because it's hard to do it on your own. Yeah. Because I think it's always dope to have someone there with you that you can bounce off ideas, comments, and stuff like that. So, yeah, we are not on iTunes yet. But
we gotta get you on iTunes.
I know.
You know the process?
I don't know the process. You gotta let me know.
I got you.
So, and I told Jazz, I'm like, yo, let me take care of that, and I haven't gotten taken care of that. But we are on, you know, we are on social media, and it's just, you know, it's just a way to talk about our hot ass mess going down weekly, daily, and because, you know, we're not fucking perfect. Something got to go down every fucking day in our lives, and then we also talk about situations that happen in the media, and we just started bringing guests, so and they talk about, obviously we talk to them, but we also like to talk about in-depth situations that become hot.
Well, it looks like you got three guests that can come on later on, you know.
Let's talk about all the hot ass mess.
You know,
Yes,
I don't want to come with these jokers. You bring me
wow.
You bring me by myself.
We're a package.
Okay.
Oh,
We're a package deal.
Wherever he goes, you come. Yeah, there it is. Or whatever she goes. Yeah.
Listen,
Oh, I remember that. That's why I didn't know him in high school.
Yeah, so-
Act like that.
you gotta remember me in high school to go where I go now. You feel me? No, but that's really dope. I like the podcast. I listen to it.
So what's your hot ass mess?
In general?
In general, I mean, you gave us one exclusive. Give us another one.
What's my
the
hot
most
ass?
recent hot ass mess that you've been involved
Most
in.
recent hot ass mess. So okay. So I started going to the gym. Right? Well, no, fuck that. I got a gym membership, but I haven't gone to the fucking gym in almost, it's gonna be 2 months, and I'm just paying for that shit. And it's like, bro, like I really got to.
Just gotta start.
I gotta start somehow, but and then the gym's like right across my work. Like I purposely got the fucking gym membership to go, and it's right across, and then it kills time. I kill the traffic for after work. So, but I just haven't gone. But that's not a hot ass mess. A hot ass mess is.
You paying for something you ain't using. That's a hot ass mess.
Yeah, but they're fucking taking my money. Like there goes fucking $33. You know,
Oh,
33
shit,
bucks
clock
can
in.
be
It's
something.
It's like
LA Fitness.
Oh, God damn,
LA
that's
Fitness.
expensive.
Because
Yeah.
LA Fitness got a lot of good stuff.
LA Fitness. So
Equinox is like $150.
I'm not going to no gym called Equinox. You feel me?
it's a gym is a gym. But no, my hot ass mess. So fucking getting rear-ended twice in a month before 2017 ended.
I for sure thought you were gonna say same day. I'd have been
Well,
like,
you know there was a
goddamn.
retrograde, so. Or do you believe in
No,
retrograde?
this was in December. That shit was long gone, wasn't it?
I think it was like December 3rd it ended.
Oh well, I got rear-ended on November 18 and December 7th.
You believe in astrology?
No,
like
I
that?
don't.
Oh,
I'm just
I
saying,
believe
like,
in the retrograde.
fuck,
Because
that
you
was
crazy.
literally within like 2 weeks apart of stupid ass people rear-ending my ass, going to work, me like listening to a fucking podcast on my way to work, and next thing you know, you fucking hear the band. Like,
getting paid,
isn't that
though.
some fucking bullshit? Like,
She getting paid twice.
oh, my shit's finally fixed. Like, it was in the. I was like, yo, I need to get my shit paid. Like, y'all need.
Oh no, I'm not talking
Your
about
back-
the car. Your back hurts, your neck hurts, your leg
The
hurts.
second
I
time
got
I
out
was
the
like,
car falling out. Like,
the second
Luke.
time.
You know, brown girls rising.
No, the second time, I was like, yo, my back does fucking hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, blame
Yeah,
it.
but it starts getting real tight.
Hey, my case is settled. Look, that's what I did.
Said my back got tight.
So,
Everything.
yeah,
Got up and
but-
go. Everything hurts. My goddamn toe.
Oh man. So, Lupe, let them know how they can get a hold of you. New spelling and all.
So, Lupe LLerenas on all social media platforms. So it's LUPE, that's Lupe. LLerenas is LLERENAS.
Lupe LLerenas. Oh,
Yay!
hey!
You did
Hey, Billy Rock!
Billy Rock on any block.
oh man.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
You can find me.
Alright, so that's this episode. I am Productions by Rob.
Wait.
What?
Hot ass mess. Podcast out. Make sure you go listen to that on SoundCloud.
And we gonna
I
get
love
it on
the
Apple.
plug.
And we're gonna get it on iTunes
You're gonna
soon.
show me how to do it.
We got you plugged up.
We're not like here. You can plug your shit in.
You can plug your shit. Shout out to what's up, Bear Muse. What you got coming? I know you got some drops. Let's get it in.
We got the swimwear launching hopefully top of February, and I have my Valentine's Day collection that's actually on the web now. www.fairmuse.com.
Go get your intimates.
Hey,
What you
just
got?
in time for
Productions by
Valentine's.
Rob on everything. Follow What We Talking About Radio.
I
Follow
miss Rob the
Breaking
Dog.
Dance,
Nice.
Breaking Ground TV. Follow that. There's gonna be some stuff coming up really soon. Shout out to Flight Life Mars. Shout out to MJ himself. You know we got him working again.
You feel me? Yo, you already know it's your mama favorite wave, Mr. MJ himself, aka Champagne Waves, aka shout out to USA. We out.